Welcome to Indiana News Desk. I'm Joe Wren. After years of meetings, the Natural Resources Commission has granted final adoption of rules overseeing carbon sequestration projects in Indiana. Residents who live near the site of a proposed project feel their concerns have gone unheard. Clayton Baumgarth has more.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much.
With the swing of the gavel, those opposed to the Wabash Valley Resources carbon sequestration pilot project in Terre Haute felt a wave of defeat.
I'm feeling absolutely frustrated. We have been for over 2 years fighting against this.
Boyce is a lifelong resident in Vigo County and one of 5 project opponents who spoke at the meeting Tuesday evening in Mitchell. She has opposed the project near her family farm since receiving a letter from the EPA informing them their property may be affected by the CO2 storage plume underground.
I beg you, as I have been begging for 2 years, vote and fight like your children are going to be put at risk by these projects. Ask for safety precautions, safety measures, requirements, because my children will be put at risk.
One of the biggest complaints opponents have had of the new state rules is that safety precautions in the event of a leak are not included. The Natural Resources Commission, or NRC, said that is because the supremacy clause in the U.S. Constitution prevents it from making rules covered by federal law.
We understand that they are in the process of adopting new rules. They are still the agency that handles that. That, again, is a preemption supremacy clause issue, where there is a federal statute that covers something, the state cannot also cover that. It is supremacy. So that is the reason that the rules themselves do not cover safety at this time.
In 2023, the state legislature directed the DNR to adopt rules for implementing carbon sequestration projects in Indiana. The adopted rules establish permitting processes, operational requirements, and compliance standards for the growing industry and neighboring landowners. It is unclear, though, how these rules will affect the pilot project in Terre Haute, which has been exempted from previous legislation.
I don't want to comment on behalf of the department about a project that's in Indiana code from our legislator.
Opponents also objected to the chosen locations for these public meetings, saying they are purposefully far from them to make it harder to attend.
We, of course, follow Indiana code for the selection of all of our meeting sites. Today's meeting was dictated by the NRC, which is the commission. It was selected, I think, in our March meeting, which would have been before the agenda was finalized for this specific topic. And
despite leaving comments and sharing concerns, residents still feel they aren't being heard.
It feels like no one's listening. And even when they are listening, we feel like the powers that be have a louder, stronger voice than we do. And they have prevailed. It's been a long journey, and we keep hoping that there will be somebody that stands up for us.
Wabash Valley Resources hasn't yet drilled any test holes or placed any pipelines for the pilot project. The only nearby large CO2 storage site currently operating had a leak last year in Decatur, Illinois. Carbon sequestration is still largely an unproven method for handling CO2 pollution, with only 50 facilities in operation worldwide, according to the Global CCS Institute. Residents had hoped the NRC would not implement rules and prevent projects like this from occurring, but the NRC says that was never an option.
You ask us to do our job, we are doing our job. And this was given to us by the legislature. So this body is doing what the legislature asked us to do, trying to do it the best we can.
Now, residents are hoping that someone else steps in to fight for them.
I am so hopeful that there will be a state senator, a state representative. We would even hope maybe that the governor would change his mind. Somebody say this has to stop.
But with companies like Wabash Valley Resources, BP, and Cardinal Ethanol knocking on Indiana's door to bring their carbon capture developments, legislators and state offices will have a hard time not letting them in. For Indiana News Desk, I'm Clayton Baumgarth.
The new rules overseeing carbon sequestration in the state could take effect as soon as October.